grading works in Moodle, okay? And this is if you grade an activity within Moodle, okay? The grades you give for that activity will automatically appear in the gradebook. The gradebook is linked to the database of the activity, okay? So, and then in the gradebook, it's like this. When you grade and you add an assignment or add an, we'll talk about forum later, but if you add an assignment, like you grade it within the assignment, the grades can appear here and forming a column. And this is called a grade item, okay? This is very important to know, and what's to come depends on this knowledge. And also, you can manually create a grade item like this within the gradebook, okay? If you have an offline activity, you don't grade, in Moodle, you grade offline. So now we'll talk about the first method, use readings, okay? So in order to use readings, we have to activate the readings. Like, you buy a card, you have to activate it. And, a credit card, you have to activate it. So activating the reading or enabling readings means what? Two things. This is, I'll show you later. This is when you create a forum, and you will be automatically brought to a settings page. And that settings page, that long list, scroll down, you will see a section called readings. And there are two things you need to set up. First is select aggregate type. The second is you need to select a scale type. Aggregate type means how the readings, you have different ratings for different posts, right? How the readings are combined to form a final grade for this forum activity, okay? There are 5 methods. We'll talk about this later. And the scale, this is also very important. This tells you what type of grade or feedback you would like to give. Is it like point? Like you're going to grade them like out of 10, out of 100, and this is point, okay? Or you want to upgrade them out of a scale, like mostly relevant, very relevant, not relevant, kind of qualitative kind of feedback, and you set it here. Okay, so to access ratings, you need first, sometimes we forget to turn editing on, that's why we can't do anything. Turn editing on, and when you add a forum, don't worry, we'll practice later, we'll follow, just to follow my thoughts here. And when you find the rating section, and this is where you set it up, okay? Aggregate type and scale. Now we'll explain what these 5 types of aggregation means. First, average of ratings, judging from the wording, it's easy, right? It's the means of the scores you give, okay? So for example, if we have 3 posts, post A, B, and C. The first one, this is for one student, okay? The first post, the student got 8 out of 10. And the second, 3 out of 10. The third, 7 out of 10. So what is the final score for this student? Can you give me? It's 6, right? It's 8 plus 3 plus 7 divided by 3. That's the means. Okay, everybody clear? And count of readings. That means the number of readings. Okay, so we don't have to look at how many scores they got. There are 3 posts. So the grade is what? 3. Okay. Maximum rating. This is a little interesting. We don't use it very often, but if you really want to emphasize the best work, you can use it. What does it mean? You will use the highest score as the final score. So here, the student scores what? 8. Yeah. Minimum rating. So it's similar, but it's the lowest score. And sum of ratings. Okay. What's that going to be? Sum means you add up all the scores. That's going to be what? This is tricky, huh? 16? No. It's 10. Why? this is something we'll learn later. When you set the aggregate type at the scale actually, you choose point, and you have to set a maximum score. You don't want your final, course total to explode, right? So you have a maximum score for this forum. Here it is 10. Obviously, it is set at 10. So the maximum score, when you sum things up, cannot exceed the maximum point, okay? Or it's going to get out of control. So the same is true for the count of ratings. If this student posted like 20 posts, he's going to get 20 or 10. He's going to get 10, okay? So it's going to be capped at 10, the score. This is something I want to know. But do you find any use of this? Do you have already like an existing forum you use in class? And what aggregate type do you choose? Did you choose, or you are planning to choose, and why? These are different pedagogical purposes, right? Think about it. Which one would you like to choose?
Most people I know use the maximum rating.
Really? Most people? Wow, I didn't know that. Interesting. Maximum. So they don't have to post a lot, but if they post something. Okay. So
Some of ratings usually.
some of ratings. How do you use it?
Well, I'm trying to figure out, it's in your head, you have to figure that out. Like sometimes the student has to post, I don't know, 5 times at least,
Mm-hmm.
and they might have 20 forms to go through.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's up to the teacher to figure out how many times they posted and then choose the marks from there.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah,
a
sometimes
little
when
bit
you,
more complicated.
I know. Well, sometimes when you choose this, like people who are very active, they post a lot, maybe everybody gets the full mark, but it doesn't matter, right? Everybody says it. But there's another use. You can choose 100 points as the maximum, and you can have students like, I'm giving you an example, think about it. So you have one student, you require that one student has to post one discussion thread, like one initial discussion, and have to make 3 replies to 3 different other students. Does that make sense? So you have maximum point 100. You can do it this way. So the initial post should weigh differently, right? That's your original opinion. Okay. So you give like 30 points. And then you give 20 points to the other 3 replies. And then you use sum of ratings. Eventually you get a grade out of 100. Isn't that good? And you can try that. So let's talk further about the scale options. In the scale dropdown, there are 3 options. None, that means you don't use any scale. And are the online people following?
Yep.
Okay. So the scale is this part. We'll talk about the point first. The point means actually 100 scales. You can give from 1 to 100. The maximum means you are grading out of 10 or 13 or 14, 40, 100. Okay, you can choose any number here, and that will be the best possible score for this forum. Okay, so pay attention to the maximum points here. And for the scale, here, this is a screenshot from my Concordia site. On our practice side, we don't have a lot of scales because people keep adding to it, and you can create your own custom scale, which I'll show you how to do later. But if you don't understand, scales created by other people, you're interested in knowing. So this is the drop down with the scale, and you go to the how do you access scale? Scale is associated with grades. So in a course page, usually you look for things from the course administration panel, the block. You find grades, and then you click grades. You will have the grades administration, and then you will see the scale. You click on it, you will see. I will show you later all the explanation for the scales. Okay, I'm just to walk you through this, and then we'll practice together. So how to create a custom scale? You want to use your own scale. Say, I want to use, with the point, it's all integer, okay, from 1 to 100. You can be 2.5, you can do that. But you can set scale here like 0 2.5, 5, 7.5, 10, like this. Or like, well, like here, mostly irrelevant, relevant, but can be more focused, very relevant and insightful. This kind of scale is useful for evaluating discussion, right? But what is important here in the description, the description box, this is what students will see about the scale. So give some explanation so students understand what they are being graded on, not just the wording, okay? Detailed explanation. So once you created the scale, going back to the ratings, the settings, and now in the scale dropdown, you will be able to see the scale you created, and then you select that, you will use your own scale, okay? And once you enable the ratings, and this is what you will see. When you enter the forum and see your student posts, these are the different scales I chose and 2 different screenshots. This is the more qualitative one. This is the points. So there's a drop down at the bottom of the post you can choose, and then you're grading them. Okay, is that clear? Now we'll have the activity. Now, are you all logging? On my course, you're in Moodle. Yes, Y assessment. Y assessment. Okay. Y is my initial. Okay, so working in your groups, the instructions on the slide. Each of you will see the section names. Group 1, group 1 workspace, group 2 workspace. Okay, I didn't have enough groups. I just had 12 people registered. But find a spot. It's okay. Find a spot. Just remember your own, name it. Have a section name so we can know which one is yours, because we're going to have a lot of forums on the side. Remember which one is yours. We're going to enter them. Okay. So now create a forum, just anywhere, and name it your way. Okay. Because you're working in groups, you can help each other. How do we create a forum? The first step is what? Turn editing on. Okay. Turn editing on. Yeah, they can. They're not registered, right?
I'm actually taking a camera image of the slides. This font size is okay. Some of the other slides are expected to follow. Are these available as a PDF? Or as
I can send them later, but not now. Sorry, if I had known that there are people online, because I look at the website, there are only 12 people who registered. So sorry for that. But they can do it later on.
You're looking for to the site?
Yeah.
I have to add you.
Let me know if you need any help. When you got the forum, find a rating section.
Do you have an account on Moodle? Okay, you want me to make an account? I'll click your name. So make an account. Just go to moodle.ca, and on the right you will have to log in. It will ask you to provide some information, and as soon as you have an account, it will be added to the site. Okay. I don't know when we're coming there yet.
Okay, if you don't know how to start, please follow me here. Now, the first step is to turn editing on. I already turned it on. When it says off, it's already on. Okay. And there are a lot of here in each section, there's an activity chooser. I click on it, add an activity or resource. And there will be a manual for me to choose from. Forum is an activity, so I look for it in the activities, and here it is. I find forum. Are you following? And I click add. Now here I enter a name, like here I do a Ying's forum. And a description, just anything now. This is a test. Because with the red asterisk is required. You have to put something there. And then I go down, I scroll down and see the readings. I click on the readings link and the manual will be expanded. So you see now the aggregate type. This is really in the way. Huh? So the aggregate type, when we want to use ratings, here is where we enable ratings. So we choose an aggregate method. I can choose like maybe sum of ratings here, and then I choose scale. Here I'm just going to choose point, okay? And keep the maximum points at 100, but you can change it to 10 if you want, okay? Now I will just leave other things as default. Don't touch them. So let's save and display. When you save and display, you are already in the forum. If you save and return to course, you return to the main course, but you can still come back, and by clicking the link, you will enter the forum. So we say I save and display, but the forum now is empty, right? Nobody has posted anything. You still don't know about this forum. So now so you're working in groups of 3, and let's each of you just pretend to be a student. We have 3 student accounts here. So student 1 without space, and the password is STU, capitalize the first letter, and log in as one of them and just post some blah blah, okay? So we'll learn how to read. Each of you just take 1 student account.
You're posting in any of the forums that were created?
When you log in as the student, you have to post it in your own forum, okay? So you can read, because there are going to be a lot of forums there. For the online people, they will have my slides, so they can.
PowerPoint, do you?
Yeah, I have it on
You can give me
PowerPoint.
a PowerPoint, I can actually upload it and follow it.
Yeah, I have it on this USB too. Oh, when you log in as a student, try to choose a different browser so you don't have to log out and log in again. Okay, choose a different browser, Firefox, or if you have 2 browsers, Internet Explorer. You can switch back.
You are currently the only person in this conference.
Open the new window or new tab, so you don't have to go back and forth.
Okay, I see that,
Yeah.
but the 7, how do you say it?
So you don't say it, you say it. Okay. When the readings, you give a reading, there's no need to say. When you give one, it's safe. You want to change, okay? And, but it's safe. It's safe for you. So have you found the grade item in the grade book for the product? You see the grade? Okay. Okay. So now I don't want to grade students like, grade each and every one of their posts. I want to look at the 4 or 5 posts they made for this forum. I give an overall score. Okay. You have that sometimes that me. Right? Going over each post, it could be kind of not something you want to do. And how to view all the posts made by one student, and then give an overall grade. So this is something tricky. In this side, I have to demonstrate with my own Concordia site. But with this practice site, we don't see, there's no navigation block. We are using at Concordia, we're using Moodle 2.8, and the way we configure it, that's how we do it. Maybe in your institution, you can do it too. You can take notes. If it works, it will work. If it doesn't, there's another option that's called Advanced Forum. Any of you use Advanced Forum? It's like another activity module. When you add it, all of this is very easy. It's in one place. You can see actually where you can see student posts, the number of posts, and all you need to grade. But with the regular forum, it's a little cumbersome. We have to, bear with it. So this is where you see.
Is that the advanced form part of the?
Not part of the regular configuration. You have to, the admin have to install it, test it. Yeah. Okay. So this part, can you just take some notes? I'm not going to use it because that's how you do courses. There's a way to do it. Okay, I'll send you the slides later. You can even email or something. And also, there are ways to filter all the posts by the students on one forum. This one is on all forums, and on one forum. Sometimes you want to do that. And this, you go to the reports and to the logs. Again, on this practice site, it works differently with our site. So I don't know, maybe in the very near future, we'll all have the advanced forum installed. That will resolve the issue. But just one thing to add about course participation. Somebody here is interested in reports, right? Here reports, and here course participation. This
So
is
that installed with what version of Moodle?
this is with 2.8. Yes.
2.8. Is it in 2.6?
Is it?
What was navigation?
No,
the
the course participation.
report.
Ooh, good question. I don't remember.
Okay. I'll show you what it is, what it looks like. Okay, course participation. It's here. So I go here, reports, and I go course participation. While we were waiting, what we can see here is three important things. You can see who has posted and who has not. You will see a column, names, column, yes, no, who posted, who didn't, and how many posts a student has made. You will see student 1, 2, student 3, 0, and these, you can also send messages to those who says no, who didn't post anything. And there's an option that you can select all the no's, okay? Select all the no's and send a message. Hey, you guys, you got to post, okay? So let's see if it's loaded. No, but that's, just take notes. You can go there, participation. But the thing is with this, you can see the number of posts. With the regular forum, always is like, here you can get one thing, here, another, you get another thing. You don't get everything in one place. But if you make advanced forum, you will have that. So here, there's no link to the live link to the content of the posts. Just give you the numbers, okay, and these three things, okay? But it's also very useful. So this is what the advanced forum look like. I took because at our university, we're also testing it, not formally installed yet. So I took the screenshot from this Doris blog. So you can see, when you enter the forum, for this particular forum, there's a link called View Posters. And then there's a column called Total Posts, and posts and replies. With Moodle, sometimes it's confusing. When you hear about posts, sometimes it means replies. Discussion, post, as opposed to post. Discussion as opposed to post. Post means reply. But we also talk in general terms. How many posts? That means both original discussion and replies. So you need to think about the context. And here, the posts on this column. Okay. I need to, yeah. This post actually means discussions. And actually, there are three meanings to it. Now, the replies. This is the confusing part. But the live link is here. You click the number, you will see all the posts by the student, discussion and replies. And so here is very important. And the best part is like you can grade within the forum. You don't have to go to the gradebook. Okay. Here, if you choose readings, the grade will automatically appear in this, just like in the gradebook. And here, you can manually. It's not working now.
Where do you see that?
Here, you can manually enter the grade, and you can enter feedback here. Okay, so it's really good. I think you can, make a suggestion to your admin. If you want to use forum, think about the advanced forum. It will save me a lot of breath, for the next workshop.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
How did you get to that advanced forum?
Oh, this is something we don't have yet. But it's like another activity module. When you have it, you don't need the regular forum. It has all the features of regular forum. You have to talk to your admin to have it installed and test it. We don't have it on the site.
Is it an activity?
No, it's an activity module. It's not a plugin or block. It's an activity module. Okay? Like in the activity chooser, you have it installed, you choose from there.
And is it really stable, like right up to 9 point whatever?
Not very stable, probably, not yet. But something to keep in mind. It's going to be there. It's so good. Okay, now, how do we allow students to grade? Sometimes we want to have some peer activity, right? You feel the need to have students to read. And you can read together with students, you just leave it to them. And now with Moodle, you can have one sale, kind of like live sale. And just like on Facebook, students look at it, I like it, I choose like. And then you can use the sum of ratings and just count how many people like it, right? That's kind of a way of peer assessment you can do. Here on this Moodle practice site, there is no way to touch the permissions. Regularly, usually, at your own institution in a teacher's school, you should be able to change permissions. Okay, but this is what you do. This is screenshot from my own site. By changing permissions, you can allow students to rate. Right? I'll show you how that works. But by default, our practice site, you can see students are already able to rate, which is a bit weird to me, because that should be enabled by the teacher. Now, I go to my, I hope this is fast enough. Okay, I'll go back to, so I enter a forum. These are sample forums. When I enter the forum, okay, I have to be in the forum because the permissions are only for this forum. You're not changing permissions for the entire site, okay? So you are in the forum and you click permissions. This permission stuff is so useful, but be careful with it. You change it can be dangerous. But then you find that the forum, these are capabilities, and see here, under forum, I try to look for rate. Okay, I find rate posts. And here, student, I already added student, okay? If I don't want student to be able to rate, I remove it, okay? But by default, students are not there. So now, if we want to rate, okay, here, I can click this to add. I select from this dropdown, I select student, and I allow. Now student will be able to rate. Okay, something to keep in mind. And there are things you can manipulate and to serve your, diverse pedagogical need. I need to go back to PowerPoint. Okay. So this is the student's view of the peers post, or peers post. Like supposing you're a student, you're John Lennon, okay? Now you have, like a teacher, you see the drop-down menu, you can choose. This is, no, you're not, you are another student. You're looking at John Lennon's post and you can give a rating, okay? And as Play-Doh, you see your own score. You don't have a drop-down for yourself, right? But you see the number here? I got 3 ratings. I got 3 ratings, and my average is relevant, but can be more focused. They give a score 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the politics scale too, and then give you an average. Okay, why do I need to terminate ratings? You have a forum, student talk, and some of them just keep talking, but you don't want to rate them forever. You log in every morning, okay, is anybody posted again? I need to rate. So you need to set a date. After that date, you don't want to rate them anymore. But they're free to talk, okay? They can still, whatever they want to say, they can keep saying it, but I'm not going to rate you anymore, okay? That's what you, that's the use for, the use of restricted ratings. This is just under ratings in the settings. Probably you have seen it. And then you set a date from there. Understand? But if you want to close the forum, I don't want to see any posts anymore. The forum is closed. No more. Okay? What do? You do not just want to stop the reading. You want to stop people from posting. Again, you use permission. Okay? I'm not going to show you again, but it's there. You have, we'll just look at read posts. There's this. There's reply to posts. There's start new discussion. This is the 2 things they can do. Now I don't want them to be able to do anymore. Okay? You can just remove the student there, and they will stop posting.
I think there needs to be an easier way to do that.
Pardon?
I think that there needs to be an easier way to turn off the forum but still have it available to students.
Yeah.
It should be more intuitive to faculty that
Yeah.
just close the form off rather than have to adjust the conditions.
Yeah,
Be a
I
great
know.
feature.
yeah, I think that's the only way I know to turn off.
Yeah.
It's read only. Student can still see it. Okay. There's another way. So like you close the forum and you kind of remove the forum altogether. That's you use restrict access. Student won't be able to even see it. I don't see many use of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't catch it, like we're using administrative role to be able to change these settings.
Permissions, no.
Or, no, teachers
I can
have.
change the permissions. Yeah. But there are certain permissions that have to be changed by the admin. But this, you can. Okay, next, grade manually in the gradebook. This I'll just explain to you. It's basically you need to work in split screen, like two windows side by side. You don't have two monitors. Okay, you look at the posts in one window, and you work in the gradebook in another window. And so here you can use the readings, but you want to add some extra feedback in gradebook. And so you will look at the post and you enter feedback in the gradebook. But in order to use this, if I don't use the ratings, okay, at all, because I don't like the ratings, I want to give them a point like 2.5. It's hard to do it with the ratings. I want to have like decimal points and stuff. Anyway, you need to disable the rating. Choose no ratings. So why do we need to disable ratings? Remember, when you have ratings, there will be a grade item for the forum in the gradebook, right? Now I need to grade manually. I need to have another column. Then you have two columns for the same activity. So that's going to be a little messy. So disable the rating. Forget about the rating. I'll just rate within my gradebook. Okay. So these are the steps. Let's try practice. First, disable the rating. Then I think you will find that your folder column for the forum will disappear. Now I'll show you what's on the right. Create a grade item. Okay, maybe here. Okay, everybody please follow me. Now let's learn how to create a grade item for the forum we want to grade. Because we don't use the ratings, we just grade like manually. So let's click grades. And there is a drop down here. Remember, this is where we create a grade item. That column is categories under setup, categories and items. Categories and items. And here, if you scroll down, you can see add grade item. Okay, let's click. So we need to have a name. We name it with your forum name. It's good. So we know this is the grades for your forum. Okay. So let's say, I'll just say forum grades. Okay, just give it a name. It's okay. Now, when I save changes, and I go back to the grader report. Everybody look, the grader report, okay? Can we see the new item here? Okay. There. Oh, wow, that's a lot. I can't see. Oh, this is the column I created. Did you see the one you created? This is the forum grades. I created this item. Here, okay. Now, what is really important is how do we enter grade, and as well as written feedback here, okay? We need to turn editing on, okay? We won't be able, where's turn editing on? What is this? Error. Hannah? Yeah, turn editing on. Are you here? Do you want to turn anything on? No, it shouldn't be at the bottom.
There, turn it on. It's on top, go up.
It's there. It's in. I can't go. I can't go higher.
Right there. Turn everything on. Up. Right there.
Ah, there. Okay. Okay. Once you turn the editing on, you can enter your grades. This is the important part. Okay, are you following? Is everybody following? Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Here, you find the column, you enter the grades in the box. The box is editable, but editing is on. But how do I give written feedback? Where do I put that? Okay, it's not straightforward. This little cog icon or whatever is it called, click on this. This is where you leave feedback, okay? You know how I got there? Are you following? If you haven't been able to create items, just find any grade item in your gradebook, okay? Because we share the same gradebook. You'll be here, we'll see. Look at mine. Any column, just any column. And click on this icon. Click on this icon. Yeah. Yeah, we're in the teachers, so we're done with the students. Okay, so when you click here, this is the edit grade page. And you scroll down, you will see the feedback. Okay. But this is like one place for feedback. If you have feedback for 5 posts, you can just verbally mention this is for which post, or you just give an overall feedback. This is the one place to give feedback comment. Okay?
No, just send it
Do you have any questions? Now we're moving on to, okay, here there's further demonstration. You see the score, click on this. If you're not following, look at this. Click on the cog icon and you will have access to the edit grade page. And then at the bottom, you have the feedback box. Okay. Now, the rubrics. Okay. So have you ever used rubrics in your teaching? Not in Moodle, but yeah, so you're familiar with what that is. That's good. So then, why use rubrics to assess forum posts? Anybody Anybody has any info? Why do we want to use rubric for forum posts?
Well, there's several ways how you can do it. One would be your grading on several aspects, several criteria.
Yeah.
So if we're taking, I think, the language example, you can grade their spelling and punctuation, but at the same time, how they can build the sentences and how they can develop their ideas.
Yeah. So I would suggest you have a rubrics. Once you have forum discussion kind of activity, have a rubric and place it in your syllabus so students can look at it, before participating. Because both research and experience tell us students do not know how to participate in discussion, like, really they need guidance. So having this in the syllabus and then you grade them based on the rubrics will really set the expectation to students. And also, you can get more specific feedback about how students are doing, right? On which dimension or what level they're at, So that's good. And also, if you have even, like when you have multiple markers, even for yourself, it's hard to evaluate a post. You think like that evaluate paper, maybe post even more difficult to keep like, when I grade papers, like the difficult part is how to be consistent, keep the same standard. I look at the first half file, I use one standard, maybe the second half I tired or whatever, I change my standard. But with this, it's how to prevent, to keep the consistency of your grading, right? So it's really good. So since everybody maybe have used rubric, I won't talk too much, but basically rubrics has these components. There are multiple criteria. That's the performance aspects, the dimensions. I want to look at what? The quality of posts, the quantity of posts, and engagement with others. And these are 3 criteria. And the levels, these are descriptive words. You want to describe at which level of mastery they're performing, okay? At each level always comes with points, right? At level 1, I think 0, I will see you later. But I'll give you some examples quickly. This is a simple rubric, but very good. It's good for online discussion. I'll read it to you, the criteria here. Quality of posts, relevance of posts, contribution to the learning community. That's always a component, the engagement with others, the community stuff. That should be a dimension there, a criteria. And different levels, description. And with the points, 10, 7, 3, 0. With rubrics in Moodle, remember, always, the lowest level always starts with 0. Always 0, not 1 or 2. Because Moodle will calculate incorrectly if you do that. Okay? Something you need to keep in mind. A second example, I don't know, strictly speaking, this is not really a rubric because it has one criteria. I see it as one criteria. These are different. One criteria is their contribution, like different levels. Is there post-provocative or substantial, superficial, incorrect, or none? Just different levels, right? But this will have one criteria. But it's also very useful. And these are more elaborated ones. Okay, we have 5 levels: outstanding, good, average, limited, flawed. And we have different criteria: demonstrates careful reading and inquiry into subject, responsibly cited, offers examples, quality of posts, engagement with others. Another one. Okay, 3 levels. 2 point, 1 point, 0 point. So it's content understanding, reasoning, interaction with others. So if you want to use a rubric for forum, like providing some guidelines, and look at this, maybe there's something we can borrow. And how to create a rubric. Okay, that's the critical part. Here's the thing. Forum does not have a rubric feature. Okay, that's why there's some learning curve for this. So forum module does not have rubrics, but there's a workaround because we know which activity module has rubric? Assignment. Okay, so we're going to add an assignment, but it's not a real assignment. We add it just for the purpose of using the rubric. So for that reason, we don't want students to see the assignment on their course page. If they see it, they get nervous, they click on it. Well, there's nowhere to submit or, they don't know what it is. So you hide the assignment. How do you hide it? You hide the section, actually. When you hide the assignment, you will be hiding it from the gradebook, and then students won't be able to see their grades. That's the tricky part. So you hide the section where the assignment is, but you can hide the assignment initially, but you have to make it visible later on so students can see their grades. So I'll show you. Okay, I create, please follow me to create, wow, there's so much stuff. So here, create an assignment. The same way we create a forum, but this time we select assignment. And then we add. Remember, this is not a real assignment, but the required information we have to fill out. Assignment name. So we can name it with a forum, like this is my forum rubrics. Description, just blah. And now, what is important is here. Grade. The grade part, this is where we select our rubrics. Okay, under grade, there's this drop down labeled grading method. Here we choose rubric. Okay. Now we save and display. When we save and display, we are in the assignment. So we can see if you're not in the assignment, you enter the assignment and you look at the assignment administration block, always access the rubric here if you can't find it. So under advanced grading, okay? So we click on this to define and create a new rubric. We give it a name. Yes.
French rubric is grille d'évaluation.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so here, interesting. How do we create a rubric? We give it a name. Now, here I can add a criteria. Here I can add a level. These are all flexible. You don't have to have the same, like the tables, the examples I showed you, they have the same number of levels, right? To make it neat in the table. But with Moodle, within Moodle, you can have 3 levels for one criteria. You can have 4 levels for another criteria, okay? So then you add criteria, you add levels, and you can change the points here. But remember, you have to keep the 0.0. And here you write the description, okay? So what is it like to be level 1, Here is the criteria. I want to look at content. I want to look at reasoning. I have screenshots to show you just to save time, okay? And then you save. Now we go back to the PowerPoint. You can practice in your own time. Oh, then how to hide? So let's save it. When you save rubric and made it ready, student will be able to see it. You will be able to use it to grade. But you save it as draft, it will be staying there. Sometimes when you forget to save it to make it ready, you don't know why I can't use it. Okay. Okay, let's go back to the course. How to, by section, I mean this, like group 1 workspace, group 2 workspace. In Moodle, you have different sections. Usually by default, it can be like topic 1, topic 2, or weekly format. And here, how do I hide the section? Look at this eye. This eye, when you Now it's open, it's visible. When I hide it, it will gray out for you. You can still, these links are still live. You can still work on them, but it's grayed out. For students, it will be invisible. Students want to be able to see them. Okay, so you place your assignment in this section, you hide the section, students don't see the assignment, but don't put anything you want students to see in this section. Have a special section and hide it just for this rubric thing. Okay, then
your rubrics up there, so you have to actually edit and hide it. You have 4 rubrics up there.
Yeah.
You have to move it into the hidden section.
Yeah. But yeah, in reality, I'm just demonstrating. You have it here just for that. But now I'm just to save time. How do you then make the assignment visible? In the gradebook, you can make it visible. You can also, where's my assignment? Like this one?
Okay. So hit edit.
Yes.
And you can hide it.
Here, hide.
Okay.
Yeah. But here, try to make sure you make it visible when you're done with the grading. Okay? This is 2 important things. Okay. We're going really fast, and I hope I will not late this morning. Okay. So just a review of what we have done. We choose grading method rubric in the assignment settings. That's how it all started. Okay. And the best practice, remember to place the rubric, just repeating this, in the syllabus for students to see. Okay. Don't use them to grade afterward and give them the shock. They don't like the shock. Okay. So when you're done with the rubric, how do I use it to grade? Okay. You still go to the assignment to grade because this is the rubric for the assignment. Is which one I already done? Forum, this one. Like, I enter this assignment. There's this link. If you have used the assignment before, this is how you grade assignment. The same link. Click grade all submissions. When you set up a rubric, you will see the rubric here. No, not yet. But you need to click, like choose a student. Where's our student? Like student 1 here. And I click this edit icon to enter the grading page. Okay. Now we're on the grading page. This is our rubric. And this thing is really in the way. Now I can just click. See, I'm looking at student post here. Now I'm ready to give points. I can click. Okay, for the first criteria, the ideas are very original. I give 2 points. For the writing quality, not so good. I give 2 points. And you see APA, I have more levels. This student made 3 or 4 mistakes. I give 2 points. Okay, so I can enter feedback comment here. So with rubric, it's good. You can give detailed feedback on every criteria. Okay. And you can also give feedback comment, like general feedback, if when you set up the assignment, there's a feedback type you can set up. If you have selected feedback comments, it will appear here. You can give general feedback as well as feedback for each criteria. Okay, this is how you grade.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
In the rubrics, is it possible to give half points?
Yes. Because this is not reading. You can give, you can just enter the points. So you can give whatever decimal point, doesn't matter. Oh, no. This one. Oh, sorry. The rubric, yeah.
Specific. So no, unless you set up a column.
You set it up like that.
You set it up with.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't think people will use decimal for this.
If you set up the levels as decimals, then
Yeah.
0.5.
Yeah, I think you can
But the
enter.
beauty of rubric is that you can set it up with like 1, 2, 3, 4, And then if your assignment is out of 2, Moodle will adjust the calculation. So you're like your maximum out of the whole rubric is, let's say, 15, because there are 3 criteria, each of them is 5. But if you said that a whole assignment to be worth only 2 points of your final grade, it will be in decimals.
Yeah. So when you set it up, there's also a maximum point for you to choose, right? So if you choose 50, eventually it will give you a mark out of 50, and Moodle will do the calculation, right? But if you want to increase, you have several criteria, like you want weight on different. So the quality of posts is more important than the quantity of posts. So I give like 0, 2, 4 for the quantity, but I want to give 0, 4, 8 for the quality of posts. You can do that. And this way, you're giving this quality thing more weight. Okay, are you following? So there's a way of manipulating this. It's very flexible with the with the rubric. Okay. So how to use the split screen? I'll show you this. If you don't know the trick, but this works with browser, Internet Explorer, and Firefox. With Google Chrome, it doesn't seem to work. Okay. Say here. I'll go back. Okay. I want to open the gradebook. I'll go back here. In another window. With PC, you just right-click grades. Why it's all French now?
In the new tab?
This one, right? The Nouvelle Fenêtre. So I right-click, I open a new window. With Mac, it's Control right-click. Now I just click on the top edge and I drag towards the side. And they will automatically resize into half. Okay? And this, the other window, I'll do the same thing. Okay. I click, without releasing my finger, I drag to the side. Okay. So I have 2 exact size, I can work, I can just scroll here. This is the forum post. This is the gradebook. You can work, have 2 windows side by side. Okay, are you following? You can do that with the Internet Explorer and the Firefox. So that's called a split screen. That's kind of little technique. Okay. This is just like what I told you. You can write comments in there for each criteria. And you want to give overall feedback, enable feedback comments in the assignment settings. There's a section called feedback comments. And then you will have the another area for giving general feedback. And the raw rubric score is calculated as a sum of all criteria scores. Okay? And the final grade is calculated by comparing the actual score, all summed up, to the best possible score. So as I said, if you want to give weight to one criteria, increase the point values. Okay. So gradebook view of the forum discussion marks. Okay, I have this column, and I mark them with a rubric, and I can see the grade in the gradebook. So that's our last thing on the manual. This is very similar. I'm not going to demonstrate again, but when you choose rubric from that drop-down grading method, there's another option called marking grade. Okay, the same way you do with the rubric, exactly the setup is a bit different. But what is a marking guide? Again, you need to have an assignment. Because forum doesn't have this either, just like rubric. But with the marking guide, it's just simpler. You might want to use this because it's just less framework. So you have one criteria. You can have different criteria, but you don't distinguish the levels. Okay. I'm going to grade you on the quality of posts. then you describe what good quality is like. And then you measure the student's performance against your description and then give a score. Is it like 5 out of 10 or 10 out of 10, something like that? And here you can click edit criteria name, and here's a description for students. Now, when it's for students, you write something the student will see. So explain clearly what you are grading on the amount, what the criteria is like explain the criteria. Description for markers, student will not see. Like you have multiple markers, you want to have the same standard, something for other markers to look at while they're grading. And maximum mark, like 10, you will be grading out of 10. Okay, you can add criteria. And here's something very interesting that Rubric doesn't have is it will save you tons of time is frequently used comments. Say, just for example, your post is really thoughtful. So you can use it. Like once you set this up, you're grading, you're giving written feedback. You can just click this, it will enter the feedback box. You don't have to type it anymore. So when you use this a lot, you know what kind of words you're going to use frequently, then you can write it here. What kind of feedback you use frequently. And when you grade with a marking guide, just like when we grade with the rubric, but then here you can see, you can have 4 comments here. And you can give a score, like your maximum score is 20 for this criteria. I give a score here. I give comments here. Okay, these are my criteria: originality of ideas. My second criteria, APA. And I have a frequently used comment. Your response is thoughtful. Okay, so I can grade here, but what students see next, this is what student will see. But experiment with this when you come back. You have the student account you can still use. Log in as student, log in back as teacher, you can see how things are. So grading criteria, they will see here. The description is what you put in there. And then they see the criteria, and they see the description of the criteria. Like originality of ideas, what does that mean? What does that mean? Here is what I mean by da-da-da. Okay, and they will see the maximum mark. Okay, so great. So we're going to summarize. So let me summarize first. But let's summarize together. These 4 methods of grading. You may not know how to do all the steps that I don't blame you. I wouldn't be able to learn so much in such a short time. But the basic, the logic, and what Moodle does with these kind of methods. First, with readings. With readings, what can I do? I have to read each individual post, right? And there's no easy way for me to give written feedback. Is that right? And with readings, when I select a scale, like when I use points, I can use points. If I choose points, there's no way for me to give decimal points. They have to be from 1 to 100. It's integer. Okay, so readings is not that flexible in terms of these. But with readings, you can give like more qualitative feedback. That's good for discussion. Is it relevant? Is it that kind of scale or a like scale? That's very useful too. And all the aggregation methods, I think that's already clear. And then what we cannot do with readings, we can compensate with the manual method, right? I can combine them. I still want to use the reading because the calculation is done for me. I like that. But I want to add some verbal comments, right? So I can look at my gradebook. The grade item, that column is already created for me because I have the readings, right? But then I can click that little cog icon to enter that student grading page, and I can give comments there. Okay, so I have the best of both worlds. I can use the ratings, I can give verbal feedback in the gradebook. Remember, I use 2 windows side by side. Okay. And then with the rubrics, the good thing is you can have fine-tuned feedback, and the student know exactly what you expect of them, and you know you can get feedback on the specific aspect of how they're doing. And also there's consistency between markers and for yourself to between days, between hours. So with the rubric, you have multiple criteria, multiple levels of mastery. And but the thing is, with rubric, Moodle does not have it. I mean, the forum does not have it. Then there's a workaround. I need to create an assignment and create a rubric within the assignment. Okay, but then I need to hide the section where the assignment is, so student don't mistake it for a real assignment. But I need to make the assignment visible so that the grade will appear in the gradebook for the students. Okay. And the marking guide, it's just simpler. You can have multiple criteria, but you don't have to like divide them into different levels. So what else? That's just my summary, thinking back. So now I'm going to turn the floor on the table. Turn the floor to you. Just give me two things you learned from this workshop that you think are very important, that you didn't know before, and you're going to use, you're going to apply when you go back. Think about it. Just two things.
How did you create that marking guide again?
The same way you create rubrics, you add an assignment. And in the assignment settings, in the assignment, there's a grade section. Under the grade section, there's a grade method dropdown. And there's direct grading, there's rubrics, there's marking guide. When you select marking guide, you will get there. There's a page for you to create a marking guide. Okay, think about the two things you learned. I know we can see what questions you have. And discuss the questions. Or if you don't have anything questions, you would like to share what you have learned.
It's interesting to see the different ways and workarounds to achieve different goals. It would be nice to see how students can use the rubrics and see how they can bring
Yeah, that's a great point. Yes. How can we make the rubrics available to students as a tool for peer grading? There's no straightforward way in Moodle for us to do it right now. But I hear people say that you might use it in the workshop module, which is more complicated, a lot of learning curve. But once we know we have the need, maybe the Moodle developer will think of something. What else? Okay.
Well, I find it nice that you can evaluate your programs with the rubrics. I didn't know you could do that. So now I learned today. The only thing I find it's a little bit complicated, maybe for teachers who's not very familiar with using technology. Because we have a lot of teachers that are not very good with technology. So when you add steps like this, it gets complicated and we don't want to use it.
Yeah.
So I find it nice that you can do it, but I'm not sure teachers, most of them, they won't.
Exactly.
I will my classes, but
Exactly.
so
What I'm sharing
it would
today
be
is
nice to
targeting intermediate kind of level.
Yeah.
If you already know the basics about how Moodle works, the assignment, the module, the activity module, what is an activity, what is a resource. You need to have some basic knowledge to really follow along well, right? But don't worry, you get the idea, you learn about, at least you know about the possibilities, the pedagogical possibilities, like how I can use Moodle to serve my needs. What is available there? As to how to do it, you can email me afterwards, if you have any specific questions. Once you know, sometimes the issue is, you don't know where to start, right? I heard Moodle is a great tool and forum is especially powerful, but here's what I want to do in my class, but I really don't know where to start with Moodle, what kind of feature I can utilize to help with my goal. And now you have that idea. Like the specific procedure is not really back and forth, okay? You want to learn better. Any other questions? Okay.
Quick one, how would you take 3 or 4 forums and create one grade mark for that? Is that just nested in the gradebook, or have you got a different way of?
Yeah, so as I showed you, there's a way. Now, on our practice side, we don't have it, but on our side, we have it. So I go to the student profile, and on the right side, there's a navigation block, and I can click the forum link. There's post and discussion link. So by clicking that, I will access all the student posts to all forums. So I give an overall mark in the gradebook. Again, have 2 windows. I just write down all the forum contributions. 5 forums or 4 forums. I look at them, I give a general, I have a general impression, and then I give a grade in the grade post.
There's only one grade in the grade.
There's only one grade for for one forum, but you can make it like
But if you have 5 forums,
you can, because you have the flexibility. If you just want to give one grade to 5 forums, you just create one grade item. So it's just call it, like grades for all the forums.
then you can't have them graded in the form, then you have to do it
You have
outside.
to use no ratings.
Yes, outside of
Oh,
the
grading.
The only method you can grade within the forum is use the grading, the ratings, If you want to give other kind of thing, not on the individual post basis, you want to look at the overall performance, the overall discussion quality, you need to manually create a grade items in the gradebook. Then you have the flexibility. One grade for however many forums you have. Okay?
Or you can, if you're grading components of each of the 5, then you create a category within your rubric, within your gradebook, right? So you
Yeah, that's what we
will
did.
pull all those forums into one category within the gradebook and set up the.
But they're still set up with no ratings inside.
No, you can set them up if you want to grade like specific within the forums themselves. So you set up each forum, let's say out of 10.
Yeah.
And you have 5 forums, and then you put them together in one category.
Nested in the
Oh, nested
gradebook,
in the
and then
gradebook.
an overall, yeah.
Yeah, so then you get a.
Oh, any questions on the online?
No, I was just going to say that there was one feedback in terms of the takeaways. How to set up ratings in the forum, how to set up a rubric with an assignment, including the marketing guide. Took note of examples of various rubrics and sources.
So these are what they learned, or they have what they learned? Okay.
And it is just after 10:45, so the next session starts.
Yeah. Okay, great. So that will be all. Thank you guys, and thank you the people online. Really appreciate your attention. And enjoy what is left of the fall.
Broadcasted, they're not recorded.
They are being recorded.
Are they going to be posted somewhere?
Yeah.
Because I'm presenting the next session, but they're